What makes a search illegal? When the officer does not have a legal basis for that search. Now, usually they get that by getting a person to consent to a search, okay? So don't ever do that. Absent that consent, then they have to have an exception to the warrant requirement, okay? So normally they can't do any type of search without a warrant. That's the Constitution. But there are some exceptions. So if they are detaining a person legally, they have reasonable suspicion to detain them or probable cause to arrest them, then they can pat them down. And they may be able to search further if they feel something that is obviously contraband, a weapon, or possibly drugs. Or if they see something in plain sight, they can seize that. But otherwise, what they're going to do quite often, like say if a person has been stopped while they're driving and they're being detained for possible drug possession, is they're going to try to get consent to search, okay? So don't consent to a search of your car. Absent that, then if they arrest you, then there may be an exception to the warrant requirement, a search incident to arrest, where they may be able to search right around the person they're arresting or the car if they're impounding the car as part of their normal inventory process. Or there might be a circumstance that could allow them. Otherwise, they're going to be required to have a warrant. So never consent to a search. So if you're being detained or being arrested for drug possession, and you were driving your car, for example, the officer's going to say, well, I'm going to have to search your car. Are you going to consent to that, or are you going to make me get a warrant? And they're going to try to intimidate you into consenting to that search. So don't ever consent to that search. Okay. If it's say you're at your home and they're detaining you, they're going to say, well, hey, can I come in and look around? If you consent to me searching you. If you don't, I'm just going to have to get a warrant. It's going to make it harder. It's going to make it worse on you. They're trying to intimidate you to get you to consent to a search. Don't ever consent to a search. Then they have to get a warrant. Quite often those warrants are issued illegally. So to prove that the police did an illegal search, first off, we show that there was no consent to the search, no exception to the warrant requirement, no exigent circumstances, no possibility that the possible evidence was going to be destroyed or removed in short order. Absent that, then they're going to have a warrant. And that warrant has to be issued based on an affidavit that sets out probable cause within the four corners of that affidavit for the reviewing magistrate to see that the warrant should be issued. And absent that, it's an illegal warrant. So quite often we're able to show that warrant does not sufficiently state probable cause to issue the warrant for the search. And that way we're able to show that it was an illegal search and basically get the evidence thrown out. So if the evidence is thrown out, the judge rules that it was obtained illegally, that the warrant was illegally issued, that the search was an illegal search, then basically they don't have any evidence against you anymore and the case gets thrown out. It is always better to fight a drug charge aggressively. That gives us the chance to possibly get the case dismissed, get the judge to rule that the evidence can't be used against our client, or in that way force the prosecutor to give us a good deal, a reduction of the charge that can ultimately be expunged from our client's record. And that only happens through aggressive defense. So it's always best to aggressively defend a drug charge. If you feel like you're facing a drug charge that you should not be facing, that the search was illegal, call the Medlin Law Firm.